It's Thursday, September 19th, 2024. Thanks a lot for joining me today. A lot to talk about. As expected, markets absolutely surged today. They were going to go one way or the other, and they definitely went up. They were going to go down a lot or they were going to go up a lot. With this rate cut that we got yesterday, there was definitely talk that there might be some panic because the rate cut was much more than expected, but no panic at all. Markets did not panic. They love it. Dow Jones hits 42,000 for first time in this Fed-fueled run. We are not seeing the market at all-time highs because the economy is doing well, because you're making more money, because people are getting better jobs, that the economy is growing, that we're manufacturing more, we're making more. No, the stock market is going up. We're seeing all-time highs because this is fueled by the Federal Reserve. Dow today hit 522 points, NASDAQ 440 points. And I must ask all of you, with these all-time highs, is your life getting any better? Was your life better today? Did you go to the grocery store? Prices are still going up. Real quick thing I want to tell you is I had to take Nugget, my little French bulldog, into the vet a couple days ago. Just just very minor stuff, little allergy, and that little allergy was very, very expensive. And I just almost shake my head with how much it costs to take a dog to a veterinarian today, how expensive it is. And half this country doesn't have $400. That means half this country couldn't even take their dog to the vet now for a minor checkup and to get a shot of Cytopoint for your dog's allergies. Half this country could not even afford to do that. And there was a gentleman in the office who had a older Labrador. No, actually, it was a golden retriever. And his dog was we've had a lot of wind. We've had the fires, the wind. There's a lot of pollen in the air, and it wreaks havoc on a lot of dogs out here. And this gentleman was in with his golden retriever, and he could not afford the shot of Cytopoint because it was so expensive, especially for a larger dog. So he had to get a prescription of antibiotics that his dog was going to have to take for a couple weeks. Much easier just to get a shot and be done with it, and it just takes care of the problem within hours. But this gentleman didn't have the money to buy the shot of Cytopoint, so he had to get oral pills, which will do the same thing, but it takes weeks to get the same effect. And there's people out there that go, oh, money's your God. You shouldn't talk about money, money this, money that. Money allowed me to make sure that Nugget got a shot 2 days ago, and she is 100% way better, much more comfortable, blah, blah, blah. But look, my heart goes out to people who cannot do this. I feel blessed to be able to take care of my family, the pets, to be able to eat, put a roof over my head, to just be able to sleep at night. But look, I had to make sacrifices years ago to cut things out, cut out a different lifestyle, not going on vacations, not going to the river, not buying the toys to do this. But a lot of people didn't do that, and now they can't even afford to take care of their dog. How are they going to take care of their kids, their family? And look, my heart goes out to these people. I think everybody should be able to get medical treatment at a fair cost. They should be able to go to a veterinarian at a fair cost. It blows my mind what they are charging. And I'm not blaming the vet. They were great. They did a great job. I know that their labor costs are up. I know that the place that they lease is up, that when they have to buy those pharmaceuticals, the costs are up. Everything is up, and it gets passed on to you and I. And when I see this rate cut yesterday, 50 basis points, guess what? We're all going to be paying more for literally everything now because of this rate cut. You're going to see more inflation. The cost of living is going to go up. We're going to have to work harder. We're going to have to work longer just to have the same things. It's unbelievable. I don't know how people are doing it. If you've been to the veterinarian lately, please comment down below. Are you shocked with the cost of this? What it costs now just to take your dog in, just to take care of a minor allergy. A minor allergy costs a lot of money. Here's another one from Fox Business, how the Fed's rate cut will impact auto loans. This was very interesting. So for every 100 basis point cut that we get, it is going to bring your car payment down about $20. So that 50 basis cut that we got yesterday, if you go out and buy a car, finance a car, your payment basically is going to be $10 less because of that 50 basis point cut. So I don't know, is that going to change your life? This rate cut is not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit me. It's going to benefit the very top 1%, the very top 1%. And you know, we talk about car prices, car loans. So you're saving $10 if you go out and finance a car. Maybe what we need to see, not worry so much about the cost of a loan, the interest on a loan. Maybe we should be more concerned about the cost of the car. Maybe we need to begin to see car prices coming down. That's what needs to happen. Car prices are so overvalued, so over the top, and people will just, oh, I just need interest rates to come down. Interest rates to come down so I can buy that car. Car prices need to come down. We are getting absolutely ripped off with what we're paying. Mortgage rates fall again, but home sales lag. I thought that everybody was going to run out and buy a house. Didn't what's her name, Barbara Cochran or whatever her name is from Shark Tank, tell us that, boy, if they come down, you know, a half a point, a full point mortgage rates, everybody's going to run. Everybody's going to be running, and prices are going to go up, and you're not going to be able to get a house. Well, we're down over a full percentage point now at 6.17% according to bankrate.com for a 30-year fixed mortgage. Why are we not seeing record sales at this point? Where are all the buyers, ladies and gentlemen? Again, it's not the mortgage rate. It's the price of the home. We are thinking too much. We're concentrating too much on mortgage rates and interest rates. We need to see prices of cars going down. We need to see prices of homes going down. All this stuff is completely overvalued. And thanks to the Fed, who fueled the bubble, this is what we get. And now, with what they're doing, they could be pushing the prices of cars and homes even higher. But there's a problem. When people don't have jobs, when there's inflation, when there's too much debt, there's too much uncertainty, people just don't buy cars and they don't buy houses. And at some point, prices have to come down. The dealerships are loaded with cars. The MLS, more and more houses are being listed. They're staying on the market longer. You're seeing people have to adjust prices in order to sell. So as we get more inventory, as rates come down, it's going to get much, much more competitive, and you're going to have a smaller pool of qualified buyers to buy these homes. And what do you think is going to happen? Prices come down. When the home investor who went out and bought 2 or 3 homes for short-term rentals, Airbnb, VRBO, and they're not renting these houses, guess what they have to do? They have to sell. And many people may have to sell at a loss. Here's another one from The Hedge today. U.S. existing home sales tumble back to 14-year lows in August. Existing home sales dropped 2.5% month over month. Versus the expected 1.3% that they were expecting. They were expecting a negative 1.3%. We got a negative 2.5%. Sales are down 4.22% year over year, and they are down well over 30% from the pre-crisis levels. Lower rates, more inventory, more job losses, more inflation, less qualified buyers. Prices have nowhere to go, ladies and gentlemen. I know that I'm going to have 2 or 3 hopeful real estate agents write me and tell me, no, prices are going up and everybody's going to buy. When people don't have money in their savings account, when they don't have money in their checking account, when they can't afford to buy a house right now, how are they going to buy a house if the prices go up? Think about that. I want everybody to think about that. We are now seeing the worst, arguably the worst housing crash right now. We are looking at 2008 numbers right now as far as sales. If people cannot afford to buy a house right now, how will they buy a house if prices go up? They will not be able to do that. Something must give. But I know there's a lot of hopeful, ignorant real estate agents out there who just don't want to believe this, but I understand that because they have to sell you something. They have to sell you a house. They have to sell you the dream. Don't be bamboozled by these people. They're always going to tell you it's the best time to buy a house when this is the worst possible time, the biggest bubble in U.S. history to buy a house. Buying a house right now should be the last thing you do unless you have to do it. I would avoid it at all costs. This is the biggest bubble. I think you're going to regret doing it. August home sales dropped more than expected as prices set a new record. This on CNBC. Prices can set whatever record they want. We're also seeing a record of lowest sales on record also. So you can have record prices, but if nobody's paying those prices and you're having record low sales, how long does this last before things have to adjust? Again, it's not about mortgage rates. It's about the price, and you better have a job. Too many people now are worried if they're going to have a job next week, next month, or next year, and they're holding off. And many people know. There's a smart group of people out there too that know that this thing is on thin ice, and this is starting to look very similar to 2008. And people are just going to wait it out and see what happens. I don't think that the housing market can go up much more. In fact, we're seeing it come down in many, many areas. And some of the hottest markets in the country we have seen really come down. Here's another one today from the Hedge. Plunge in jobless claims exposes apolitical Fed cut policy error further. Jobless claims, the numbers came in today at 219,000 versus the 231,000 from the previous week. A question to all of you. Don't you think that maybe the Fed could have waited till November, till after the election? I just think that they could have just waited just a little longer until after the election. It does not look good. I'm not saying it's political or it's not political. It just doesn't look good. And why did they have to go 50 basis points? I mean, okay, go 25, but why did they have to go 50, and why did they do it now? Visualizing maxed out credit cards by generation. This on the Hedge today. Very, very interesting. So here's the breakdown of the maxed out generations. The Gen Zers, 15.3% of Gen Zers are maxed out. 12.1% of millennials are maxed out. Gen X, 9.6%, and boomers, 4.8% of them are maxed out on their credit cards. You know, people tell me the restaurants are busy. Oh, people are traveling. They're on airplanes. Wonderful. They're not using their money. They're borrowing it. They're using money they don't have. It's called credit cards. And you got to ask yourself this. We are looking at record low numbers of people's savings account, people having money in their savings account. The savings accounts are at record lows. People have never had such a little amount of money in their savings account. Why is that? Because the savings rate is so low. People cannot save money after they pay their bills, after they pay for essentials. They have no money left over. So ask yourself this, since the savings rate and the savings account levels are so low, how are people out there spending all this money? It's easy. 968 million credit cards in the back pocket of Americans. That's how they're doing it. Yes, there's people that are doing very, very well. It's a very small percentage of the country. Very small. 10%. Probably about 10%. 80% of the country is working paycheck to paycheck. And most of this country cannot afford a $400 emergency. And yet, oh, the restaurants are full. Things must be good. Oh, I went on a plane and the plane was full. And I went to a hotel and it was booked. So, okay. So that means everybody has money? Some people do. Most do not. Many of these people are doom spending. Many of these people are just using a credit card and they're going to worry about it later. So I don't think we can really validate the condition of the economy because a couple restaurants are busy. I've seen a lot of restaurants in the last week when we went to LA, Riverside County, Los Angeles County. I saw a lot of restaurants gone. They're never coming back. They're gone. There's a lot less restaurants to go to. So I don't think that really validates a booming economy because there's a few restaurants or a few airplanes that were busy or some people traveled over the summer for vacation, which also, how did they do it? They put their vacations on a credit card at 23%. Real smart, right? So be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get yourself into debt like these dummies. They're going to really pay a price for this irresponsibility and this recklessness. Cisco cuts 5,600 jobs in second round of layoffs in 2024 despite strong financial performance. Months ago, they just laid off 4,000. So, this is, almost 10,000 jobs this year just with Cisco alone. The Hedge, Fed's rate cut sends excessive liquidity soaring, sparking new risk, inflation surge. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I bought gold yesterday, because I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to walk the walk. I see trouble. I see more inflation. I see problems for the US dollar. And so I personally think it's very, very important to be putting away metals. I know a handful of people very, very close to me who made large purchases within the last 7 days, very large purchases. So you can all do what you want to do, but protect the wealth that you have. Don't go just thinking that things are going to be okay, that rate cuts are going to save you. This is going to make things worse. People, I think, are under the illusion that these rate cuts are going to make things cheaper for you. It's going to make things more expensive. It's going to make things cheaper for the top 1%. It's going to be cheaper for Wall Street, not for you. TheEconomicCollapse.com. Is there a secret ulterior motive behind the emergency move that the Federal Reserve just made? Interesting article, and check any of these articles out. Google this stuff yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take my word for it, but really good point here. 50 basis point cut is a move that is typically reserved for a crisis, yet we're being told everything was fine. Inflation's going down, GDP up, job, wages, everything up, the stock market up, everything's going up, and yet they didn't cut 25. They shouldn't even have cut. In all reality, the Fed had a lot more work to do. We're not even near 2%. And yet they cut 50 basis points. This is reserved for a crisis. Is there a crisis behind the scenes that we don't know about? Of course there is. You know it. You've been watching this show. You watch other shows. You are watching things with your own two eyes. We are in a financial crisis right now, and they know it. Jerome Powell just won't admit it, and they won't tell you. They won't even tell you that we're in a recession at this point. We've been in a recession for over a year. The last time we saw a 50 basis point cut was during the health crisis. Look, I think they got what they wanted. They wanted to juice these markets. So here we go again, cheaper money, more artificial injections, more manipulation of the markets, just cut the rates. And then of course we'll get more hopium that there's going to be more rate cuts, bigger rate cuts. It'll be 50, it'll be 75 basis points, and the markets will eat this up. They don't care. The markets don't care. The Fed doesn't care that you don't have a job or that you're going to lose your job. They don't care that you're going to the grocery store and you can't afford food, that you're going more and more food insecure. They don't care that your car got repoed. They don't care that you're falling behind on your mortgage. They don't care that your standard of living is going down. All they care about is that top 1% in Wall Street. And Wall Street is going to pay a severe price here too at some point. The economy has been sacrificed, ladies and gentlemen, for Wall Street, but Wall Street is going to pay a severe price too. There is no getting away from this. The Fed, all they can do at this point now is print money and cut rates. And we know how that ends up historically. It causes hyperinflation. It devalues currency to zero. It causes very, very big trouble. The sugar high that we're going to see now is going to last a month or two. Then, depending on who's president, that's going to have a lot to do with it too. We may see more rate cuts. We may see rate hikes depending on who the president is. But from what I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, these markets look like a drug addict needing more and more drugs. And the Fed is delivering those drugs. And if the Fed cuts those drugs off, these markets are in big, big trouble. If they cut the hope of these drugs off, the markets are in big, big trouble. They have to keep feeding the addict with hope or cuts. Hope or cuts. Question is, what happens when there's no more cuts and no more hope, ladies and gentlemen? This economy is in shambles. Pensions are going to be in big trouble. The bondholders are going to be in big trouble. Investors are going to be in big trouble. Regional banks, big banks, everything's going to be in big trouble here. You cannot do what they're doing right now. They are absolutely decimating the U.S. economy. They're gutting the middle class. They're gutting the economy. I don't know if this is all being done on purpose, if this is an accident, but the same people who created this mess are now telling you and I that this is how we're going to fix it. We're just going to print more money and cut rates and everything's going to be fine. While we're losing more manufacturing jobs, while we're losing the middle class, while inflation continues to surge, and the list goes on and on. $35 plus trillion in debt, interest of $1.2 trillion on that debt. This is an emergency, and you should be really paying attention and preparing. I will close with this last article. TMZ NFL fan forced to throw their that red and white hat, you know the one, in the trash by stadium staff, receives apology from the team. This was a season ticket holder to the Arizona Cardinals. This is why you should not be going to baseball games. This is why you should not be paying to go to these football games. A season ticket holder was forced to throw their hat, their red and white hat. I don't care what hat you wear. I don't care. You should be able to wear whatever you want to wear, even if it's offensive. If you want to wear a red and white hat, if you want to wear a blue hat, if whatever hat you want to wear a t-shirt with whatever you want to wear, I think you should be able to wear it wherever you want. I just think that that's called freedom. I don't think anybody has the right to take that hat off your head or that shirt off your back, especially when you're paying all this money to be a season ticket holder to one of these organizations. I say F them, F them, F them. And you are an idiot to be supporting these teams. These teams hate you, they despise you, they hate what you believe in, and you keep giving them money, you keep giving them your time. F these teams. F them. Take your money, go somewhere else. This is absolutely ridiculous. Anybody that is supporting these sporting organizations, baseball, football, basketball, I hate to say this, you are an idiot. You really are. To keep feeding this machine. These people hate you, and you keep giving them your money and time. And here's another example of this right here. I don't know when people are going to learn, but they just, they just cannot give up their sports while their country burns. While they rob your pensions, your Social Security, people will still pay money to go watch these guys play baseball, football, and basketball. Adult men paying this money, adult women paying this money to watch other adults throw a ball around while their country is being burnt to the ground, while it's being robbed. Your pensions, your Social Security, your life, your children's future, everything is being robbed. And you sit here and give these organizations your money. Shame on you. God bless. Have a good day.